Danhausen likes to call himself very evil, very nice. Well, he can add very dumb to that list after his latest outburst on X over RFK eating a McDonald's. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And why is Danhausen so annoyed about RFK eating a quarter pounder? Probably because Danhausen belongs in McDonald's. He looks like the kind of guy that would be serving up Big Macs all day long. But in case you forgot who Danhausen is, yeah, he's like a 90-pound guy soaking wet. He's actually employed by AEW, but he's not wrestled or been seen on TV in a very, very long time. He doesn't look like a guy that would like Donald Trump. Therefore, he doesn't look like a guy that would like or support RFK. And based on his tweets, he does not. I mean, he looks like your typical sort of Antifa rioter, left-wing, safe space needing human being. And I think that's exactly the kind of guy that Danhausen is. So there's this picture circulating online of RFK sitting with Trump, sitting with Elon Musk. I believe Trump Jr.'s in there as well. Tulsi Gabbard wasn't in the picture, but I believe her and Vivek were sitting close or nearby or whatnot. Look, they're eating a McDonald's. RFK's all about MAHA, make America healthy again. But look, one McDonald's isn't going to kill this guy. Plus, the McDonald's looks pretty damn good. I don't know what it was he was actually eating. Maybe it was a quarter pounder Big Mac. But screw it. You know, one unhealthy McDonald's isn't going to kill this guy. But people have been calling it RFK online for eating this, and Danhausen was one of those guys. But, you know, instead of making a joke about it, he did make it personal, and he commented on the post saying, quote, "Don't worry, I'm not eating McDonald's, I'm feeding it to my brain worm," end of quote. So, you know, a brain worm is like a parasite, and for me, that is kind of him taking a dig at the company that RFK is sitting with, you know, the company that RFK surrounds himself with. Or it could simply be that he also believes that RFK and the people that RFK with are parasites to the average American. But either way, he's taking a dig. You know, he's insulting RFK. He's insulting the company that RFK keeps. And, I mean, whatever. That doesn't really bother me. If he doesn't like RFK, then he's entitled to do that. It's a free world. You don't have to like anybody. I personally think that Robert Kennedy Jr. is great. If you don't like the guy, then so be it. Danhausen obviously does not. He took this dig at him. However, a user then replied to Danhausen saying, quote, "Nah, that's me trying to figure out how you're so popular. You're like a vampire with fucking downs," end of quote. And, you know, I get it. I mean, first of all, is Danhausen so popular? If the guy was so popular, he would be on TV. He would be a star. He's not on TV. He's not a star. I mean, he does popular in the indies, but if you're on the indies in the first place, then you're probably not over. You're probably not that popular, because if you were that popular, you wouldn't be on the indies. But Danhausen then just seemed to lose his mind for some reason. He replied to this guy who had a picture of Donald Trump, and Danhausen said, quote, "This site is filled with openly racist, sexist, homophobic dipshits like this guy, and people wonder why everyone's leaving. It's not woke. It's because people like you are dumb fucking losers that will never amount to anything in life and are annoying as fuck," end of quote. Right, well, maybe people think that first of all, maybe people think that Danhausen's a fucking loser, and in his wrestling career, I think it's fair to say that he isn't going to amount to much. I can't see this guy getting into a top company and getting in a high level spot. But, I mean, who knows? Danhausen, though, calling everybody, saying this site is filled with openly racist, sexist and homophobic dipshits. Then he talks about that's why everyone's leaving. But he also believes that America is filled with, you know, dipshits and racists and all this stuff. So if everyone's leaving Twitter because they're filled with the same kind of people, then why doesn't this guy leave America? If he thinks the USA is like X, then feel free to leave America, just like you're probably going to leave X. Sounds simple to me. But again, it's just Danhausen. We've seen this many times now. The guy's come out, he's been just giving fans shit. Fans that don't lick his ass, fans that don't agree with him, fans that don't think that he's very evil, very nice, fans that just do not enjoy this character. He seems to attack them for no reason. He throws a lot of tantrums about not being booked properly by the company, not being, a top guy in AEW. He's come out a lot and just had these really childish temper tantrums. So obviously maturity levels from this guy aren't that great. Probably never going to make it as a top guy because of this. But, I mean, just look at Danhausen's reply. Danhausen replies to this McDonald's picture of RFK with an insult. He's insulting. It's a dig. It is what it is. And that's fine. He's entitled to do it. But then when someone responds to Danhausen with a dig and basically, says, I don't understand why you're over because your character sucks. You're a vampire with Down syndrome. Danhausen just completely goes off on one. It's like mental. So it's like Danhausen's the only guy that can throw insults. Danhausen's the only guy that can be negative. Danhausen's allowed to attack people, call people out, but when somebody else does it, he cries and he plays victim, and all of a sudden the whole world is sexist and racist and homophobic and all this shit because somebody said they don't understand why he's over because he basically plays a vampire with Downs. I mean, just complete fucking victim blaming here, or victim, playing the victim by Danhausen. But I mean, it is what it is. Just turns the script on himself. Just flips everything. The guy throws out insults. He gets insulted back, and then he wants to accuse everybody of being some sort of crazy right wing nut job who hates all women and all this bullshit. Why? Because somebody questioned why you're so popular. Somebody doesn't think that you're a big star. Then all of a sudden, like, what's race got to do with it? The guy said you're a vampire with Downs, and he's throwing out racism. I mean, what a fucking loser. No wonder Tony Khan's desperate. Guys, Tony Khan's absolutely desperate for stars. Tony Khan will put anybody on TV, but he won't put this guy. Maybe that just sums up how bad Danhausen is. This guy can't even... Look at the amount of losers and bums and jobbers that get TV time in AEW. And Danhausen can't even get 1 second over the past, 2 years. Kind of tells you all you need to know. But yeah. I mean, that's typical of people like Danhausen. They're happy to throw insults. They're happy to bully people, abuse people, call names, do all this shit. But then as soon as they get something thrown back in their face, as soon as somebody responds... They don't like it, and they cry, victim cry, and give you all these names, label you this, label you that, and then they run away looking for a safe space to hide. It's kind of pathetic. This guy never going to be a champ, never going to be anything in the business. Shouldn't even be in the business. He should have been serving RFK these fries. So get back behind the station and put some salt on these bad boys, or maybe don't, because I know RFK likes to stay healthy. Maybe hold the salt, Danhausen. Hold the salt. Anyway, that's it. What is it? Vampires are allergic to garlic. Maybe we need to just get garlic. Maybe we need to get a shitload of garlic, put them on all the fries, and hopefully this guy just disappears forever. Anyway, that's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Being Fog Wrestling. Till next time. Peace.